everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a very interesting deck profile. This here is going to be a Rillaboom deck, but the interesting thing is that I have never actually used Rillaboom as the main Pokemon in a deck before, mainly because I only have the one copy. I still do. So it is going to be quite a peculiar build in this particular case here, but being that it's always been the supporting Pokemon, I figured it could actually very well be a primary attacker, given that its main attack here is really powerful at 220 damage. So honestly, I would say this is well worth being one of those strong hitters out there. But without further ado, let's just begin. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, share, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell notification as well. So to begin, we are going to be playing the one Rillaboom V. This might seem a bit weird to you guys because I only have one copy of it, but honestly it doesn't really matter, because as long as we have cards such as Ditto Vs, we don't really have to worry. So in this particular case, it's as if we're playing, well, technically 3 copies, because Ditto Vs can easily just switch out. I think a lot of people still don't recognize that Ditto V is a really amazing card, allowing you to switch out into any Vs that you actually need. In this case, your Rillaboom Vs. And of course, for a bit of support, we're going to be playing here the one copy of Crobat V, also just unquestionable in this deck. Now here's the funny thing. What better way to actually support Rillaboom by actually using a different copy of Rillaboom? In this case, we're playing the Stage 2 Rillabooms. Really powerful, really quick, allowing you to attach your energy with great ease. I mean, think about this for a second. If you have both of these out on the board, you can attach a potential of 4 energy, which is exactly what you need to deal your whopping 220 attack. That's pretty huge. So together with the Rillabooms over here, it just works out amazingly, and you only need 2 copies anyway. So this was actually a bit of a coincidence, but by adding into Oranguru, I kind of turned this deck into a full-on monkey deck or primate deck. So yeah, it's a funny coincidence there, but Oranguru just helps you switch out and get the cards you actually need in this case, so it is just very nice. Now for some items, we're playing 4 Quick Ball. Makes sense, I mean any deck will always play 4. As for the rare candies, just 2 is enough, pretty much just goes into your Rillabooms of course, so there's really no questions asked. Now when it comes to disruptions, we are definitely playing a full load over here. 4 copies of Fan of Waves, 2 Crushing Hammer, we're also playing 2 Pokemon Catcher to make sure we could take out whichever Pokemon we want on our opponent's side, and of course Escape Rope is also one of those pesky options as well. But overall, having this here will definitely allow you to maintain the greatest of control out there on the game board. I'm also going to be playing 2 switches. You never know when you actually need them, but there's no need to play any more than 2, just suffices as a backup option. Otherwise, we're playing 4 copies here of Turbo Patch. We're attaching energy really quickly to Rillaboom. However, there is a bit of a downside to Rillaboom, and that is the fact that it does deal 30 damage to itself, so there is potential that it could knock itself out, which means that your energy that you attached onto the Rillaboom might eventually just all go to the discard pile extremely quickly, so why not just reuse them by playing 4 copies of Turbo Patch. There's really no harm done. The majority of this particular deck, well, I wouldn't say the majority, but most of your energies are going to be basics anyway, so with that being said, the Turbo Patches just work out in this deck and synergize incredibly well. Of course, for some fun supporters, we're going to be playing a few cards here, such as Cape of Toughness and Big Charm. Kind of boost up the strength of the Rillaboom since you're dealing 30 damage to itself per attack. By adding in these particular cards to strengthen up your own Rillaboom, it is just really amazing to allow you to have additional attacks before it finally gets knocked out. And of course, to deal with your opponent's tools, you simply play the Tool Scrapper. Now to recycle your own resources, particularly your energy, we're definitely going to be playing cards such as the 2 copies of Ordinary Rod. I think it works out incredibly well here. Playing 2 copies is not too much because you're not playing too many to the point where you're always going to draw into it, but if you're able to return it to the deck, maybe you could just use it or cycle it out really quickly with the Rillaboom Stage 2s. That being said, we are playing two particular stadium cards. So the first is Turffield Stadium, allowing you to add your actual evolution Pokemon. In this case, it's just a Thwackey and the Rillaboom, but afterwards you could easily just switch it into Training Court, which is more so your mid-game to late game card, allowing you to recycle your own basic energies. Keep in mind though, if there is a potential chance that it could benefit your opponent, so I would definitely advise caution when using these cards. But with that being said, if you don't find yourself needing them, then feel free to just discard them as part of research, or perhaps even the quick balls. As for supporters, the one Leon allows you to pretty much boost up your Rillaboom's attack, potentially dealing you more damage. But we're also playing 4 copies of Boss's Orders. We're dealing huge damage here. I want to maintain as much control, so I'm going to maximize it with the Boss's Orders at 4 copies. Finally, I'm playing 2 copies of Marnie. That's all we really need, but we're also playing 4 copies here of the Research, allowing you to draw into your deck really quickly. Just 2 copies of Aromatic Energy. Although this deck works on you attaching your basic energy really quickly, you still need some kind of way to protect from your opponent's annoying special conditions. I hate it when your opponent actually puts on Confuse and just makes it worse for you, and I also sometimes hate it when Poison is intact as well, or Burn. Any of the conditions, really pesky, really annoying. So let's avoid that by playing 2 copies of Aromatic Energy. And finally, we have our 6 copies of the basic Grass Energy, all really amazing here. Mind you, Grass is now pretty much one of the better decks out there. Obviously it's not the best of the best, but it has definitely improved given that Fire has definitely been weakened now. So I highly encourage you guys to let it out and just play more Grass decks. So that was pretty much it for today's deck profile. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely let me know how it works out for you. If you have any suggestions for what cards you might actually switch out in this particular build, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a brilliant day. I'll see you all next time.